Hello, y'all. I'm back. So, I thought it was from last night, but wait, what time is it? It's exactly noon, 12 o'clock noon exact. So, I thought it was since last night, but it was way yesterday afternoon. I had to upload videos from way yesterday afternoon. So, since it's the beginning of the month, excuse me, I felt like I wasn't gonna use my phone data to upload like lots of that phone data and use it up on videos in a short period of time. Otherwise, if I wouldn't have gotten wrongfully kicked away from that other sleep spot, all those videos could have uploaded last night and that incident wouldn't have happened. But I probably could have possibly had another incident, or they probably could have came over there. So, they have somebody who didn't even sign up to be in this room next door, and I don't know if it's male or female. I thought it was a guy at first, but then I saw like a lesbian female or something, So she's sitting there hiding, like she's sitting on the floor and hiding behind, like under and behind it, like as if she's sneaking up in here. At first she tried to peep up in here. But she snuck up in there. I don't even think she signed up, because when you go peeping room to room and stuff like that, that's how you know. But it's like if you sign up, you know exactly which room to go to. So I don't even know if it's her first time here or what, but I don't know. She seemed creepy and weird. So I hope they don't kick me out of here soon, because I really need to get my story out about this whole freaking week. So here's part 2. I think I covered, even though I kept on getting distracted, but excuse me, I think I covered just about everything that happened, excuse me, the first day of work, which was like an unpaid, the first day of work was like an unpaid orientation, and I didn't know that they were going to give us hands-on work. And I'm like, that's fucked up and unfair that, they had us work 2.5 hours unpaid plus the orientation. And then I didn't know that we were going to be doing, like, I wasn't sure what we were going to be doing. I didn't know if I thought that we would have had like a certain position. I didn't know that we would be doing a little bit of everything. So my first day, the day of the orientation, the unpaid day of that job, I put my earbuds in. I had to, because the perp co-workers kept on clicking their pins near me. And they had this elderly lady that she looked a lot like that perp Miss Brenda from the temp service job from, I'm going to say the year before last, because, it wasn't 2 years ago, but it was like September, October, November, December of 2021. So she reminded me a lot of Miss Brenda. She looked a lot like her. But she wasn't as old, but she was pretty old. But she was the main one, like, clicking her pen. And there was at least 3 or 4 of them clicking their pen. And then I had to deal with loud music and everything. So then, the day before yesterday, all right, on the day of the first day, the so-called orientation, they had one of the co-workers that was act like she thinks she's the boss just because she worked there before in the past. So she really, try to act like like she thinks she's a know-it-all boss. So I think I told y'all about how when the manager sent me an email that I didn't receive it or I didn't know I had it until the day of the so-called orientation. And if I would have known that, I would not have I would not have tried to go on Monday. So she, had like the littlest thing that the manager get like explosive and blown out of shape, and I don't know if she's like half white, half Asian, or if she's fully Asian but Americanized, but she looks like a mixture of both, and so yeah, she if I really didn't the only reason why I'm not mentioning names and I'm not mentioning the place is because um me trying to be protected and not be wrongfully banned from the entire place, you know. So the fact that I wasn't fired, I left in good standing, but it's like, how could the manager lecture me about professionalism when she gets explosive mad about the littlest infraction? I mean, I can't work around somebody like that. An abusive, narcissistic, bully tyrant. So, and I really can't stand people who act like they think they're the smartest in the world, got the most common sense, and think that they can think outside the box and everything. And so, so the second morning, the boss put me with that know-it-all narcissistic coworker, in which that's when the workplace mobbing really kicked off. So she turned out to be the bossy coworker turned out to be and guess what? Like after let me tell y'all something. I had to use the bathroom really bad. And after I finished uploading the videos and before I had to go to the bathroom, that's when she snuck up in this room, probably if I didn't take a bathroom break, I probably would have started a long time ago. But I think she's planted here next door to try to listen in on what I gotta say. Or she might be, hitting me with energy weapons, being sneaky. But I did notify them that she's up in the next room and may not even be signed up to stay in here. See, I'm starting to hear noise. So and my anxiety is really high. I'm surprised that last night after the incident, I was forced to sleep hard. And I woke up at just before 7:15. I woke up like 7:13 this morning. No, more like 7:23. And then finally got up and still sleep deprived, and I started dozing off in here while I was uploading I don't know how many, like 15 freaking videos from like between yesterday and today. Not I don't know, 15, 16, 17 videos. So I still am sleep deprived and tired. So I mean, I don't even know where to start. Like I had a rough day from start to finish yesterday. Like they fucked up my breakfast yesterday. I felt cheated and scammed. Well, I'm not gonna say scammed, but I felt like, cheated. And I was trying to have a good breakfast. And then can't say nothing because of trying to remain in good standing here and there. Trying to not get wrongfully banned from here and there. And so Then after that, I got sexually assaulted on the bus. Then after that, everything else was fine for, no, I had some perp harassment going on, when I went to do laundry. Then I came back and I went to go swim and shower. I'm glad. No, somebody did something weird over there. And then afterwards, the bus driver told me something offensive. Then they had the noise campaign last night, so, somebody donated me $8 yesterday. That's about the only good thing that happened, yesterday. But other than that, I'm like, they really trying to do me in and like, come on, man. Like, they really had it out for me. And if I would have had to go into work this morning, it would have been a day that I would have had to take a time out, in which I was scheduled to come in this morning at 10. I was supposed to have been there now, but I told them yesterday I quit, and I'm going to tell y'all why. I have a lot to say, a lot to talk about. And I hope I don't get interrupted. And that's why I'm like jumping all over the place, because I'm nervous at the moment. Like my anxiety is really high. So Wednesday morning, on the first paid day of work, and the only day of work, and I'm probably going to get only like $60 and take out taxes, and then however much that is. So that'll be the only doggone paycheck next Friday. Otherwise, I would have wanted to work my ass off and try to get as many hours and as much work as possible, but I couldn't. So Wednesday morning, so I don't know, that person just walked back around. It must be two of them, a guy and a female. He just walked with a mask. Or is that same person? He just peeped it and looked through here, and then went and looked like he went in the next room. So so he's wearing all black, and I think she's wearing all black. Or if that's the same person. But anyway, I told y'all about what happened with the Uber incident and when I checked out of the hotel. So just before going to start into work, they had like the leaf blower noise harassment just before going into start work. And it seemed like, I told y'all the Uber driver, he had one brake light. I wish I could have caught it on film. He had one brake light, plus he was trying to make me late on purpose, trying to set me up to be late, because he accepted the ride and then sat there for a long time. I'm like, come on, like, so, and then he didn't even apologize or give me an explanation for why he sat there. I feel like with the Uber drivers, don't accept the ride if you're not ready to just go and pick somebody up. Cabs don't even do that. Well, sometimes they do, but the cabs, they be on a hustle, trying to make as much money as they can. Like, if they get a ping, they go immediately. They stop in their tracks and go and do what they need to do. Go and pick up the customers or whatever. But Uber drivers, they play around. But the perp's going to get paid regardless. So I sacrificed buying $25 skirt and plus a $5 shirt, trying to call myself being suitable for the job and trying to be ready and trying to be on time and trying to do the right thing at least, So when we first clocked in, the narcissistic bully manager set me up with the narcissistic control freak fake perp co-worker. She was throwing up those devil horns and all that too. The co-worker, I mean, so I feel like you act like that. I mean, you a doggone. I know you one of those devil worshiping witchcraft practices. I mean, practitioners. I know you into that new age witchcraft devil worship. I can tell, but they front like they delusionally believe that they're bigger, better, and higher than perfect. Like you probably a satanic Wiccan or something. So the coworker, she told me to do this, do that, whatever, and showed me how to do a couple of tasks, and I followed through. And then the loud music, which I don't know why business. I didn't know because I wasn't sure if that place played loud music. I didn't know before if that place. I thought they didn't, but I guess they do. Now I know that they do. That they play loud music. So I started to get my ears hurt with the noise, and I started to get distracted and couldn't concentrate or focus. And I was like, even though I slept many hours the night before in the hotel, I was sleep deprived from I think the previous nights before, and it was catching up with me. And then the night before last night, like that night later on, I got no sleep at all. And then I'm surprised I got some sleep last night, and I'm still feeling sleep deprived. So I was feeling like woozy and disoriented and sleep deprived and exhausted coming into work. And the coworker that thinks she's the manager because she was there before, like the first day of that orientation, she tried to narcissistically take it upon herself to place people here and there, and they didn't ask her to do that, and everybody was looking. Well, the managers didn't ask her to do that, and everybody was looking at her like, "Who the hell you think you are?" Like they looked at her like she was crazy. And she's like, "Yeah, I worked here before," or whatever, So it's like me being sleep deprived. The very instant I kind of leaned on a desk for a bit, and then she tried to make me stand up straight and work or whatever. I just need a quick couple of seconds to and I'm pretty sure she has done that too, So when the manager asked me about doing a task or if I know, and so then the coworker asked me in front of the manager's face, and then the manager got mad at her for relaying wrong information. But it's like, wait a minute, lady, the manager, that's what she told me. I'm not going to say what task she told me to do because I don't want to give hints. So, so then I think she asked me about, so the girl asked me, well, so have you pulled orders before? And then the manager got really mad at her, and I'm like, damn, for like the slightest mistake. And so this know-it-all perp coworker, she had a dumb look, like the same look when the foster mom get mad at us. We used to look at her like a dumbfounded, like surprised look when we getting yelled at or in trouble or something. But the first day, the coworker was saying that the manager is that she's strict and no nonsense. I'm like, nah, this is a narcissistic abuser. You don't have the authority or the right to be called strict, bitch. But the manager, she narcissistically act like she delusionally believes that she's military kind of strict. But I don't know if she's been in the military or not. But I mean, we're all freaking adults. We're not children. I'm like, why the hell you that's a power hungry, and hungry for power and control. And so the coworker tried to act like an obedient, loyal cult follower or cult member or something like that. Like as if the manager playing the role of a cult leader and everybody got to stand in line. Stay in their place or stay in line or be in fear and submissive and under control. And it's only a temporary, like it's supposed to be a couple of weeks. They wanted to pretend to be so fake strict that they wanted us to have like no wrinkles in your clothes and or make sure not one wrinkle in your. That's military kind of, you know. Or they say, well, you can't do it, whatever. So, but they can play loud music, blast loud music, all ungodly, worldly music all day long that I don't want to hear. So, so the manager got really mad at the girl, and the girl got really spooked, like really scared. And so the manager did tell me, but then I think she tried to lie and say she didn't tell me. Well, what did you tell me to do? And then she said, I didn't tell you this. I told you to do that kind of thing. You know, so I did some packaging and pre-packing certain items throughout the day, and hanging up clothes and stuff like that, you know, or putting stickers on clothes and stuff like that. I ain't too disabled to do that, but y'all don't need that loud music. So so the coworker, when the music got unbearable and I started to get distracted, and I put my earbuds in, and she tried to ask me if the manager knows that I'm wearing earbuds. Like, that ain't your business. Like, come on. Like, wait, they're starting to get loud out there. And it might be next door too. So, so this is where everything started at. And that girl made me so mad that she think that she can replace the manager's authority, or think she can just take it upon herself. So the girl tried to, you know, narcissistically demand an answer for why I put my earbuds in, and try to make me and keep tabs. You know how narcissistically keep tabs and make sure I go out and do it. She wanted me to go and snitch on myself, to tell the manager about my, you know. And the first day I wore the earbuds, like I try to tolerate, you know, the loud music or whatever. But when the co-workers started clicking their pens and stuff, and it started to get unbearable, I said, fuck it. And I just put my earbuds in, you know, not even thinking, you know, it didn't even cross my mind to think that, oh, well, I got to tell the manager that I have this medical condition. I need to have my earbuds or whatever. So, so then when I don't see now, it's been a couple of days now, because this happened the day before yesterday, and I was trying to tell the whole story that day, but I kept on getting distracted and interrupted and everything. And so I don't even remember every minute little detail about what happened that morning. But the manager, you know, narcissistically scolded me about, you know, wearing earbuds without her permission, and try to say, well, normally I catch stuff like that. See, I didn't even know you had your earbuds in or whatever. And so, and then the girl kept trying to tell me, oh, well, I'm, you know, she's like, well, I'm just looking out for you, and I'm just trying to make sure you, and the girl, she also made me mad that she said, well, if she catches you with those earbuds, she will send you home. that also triggered me and made me want to fly off the handles. If she catches, and you're younger than me and talking to me this way, if she catches you with those earbuds, she will send you home. See, any other coworker, they would have minded their business and they wouldn't even say nothing like that, you know? Even other managers saw me with my doggone earbuds in, and they just kind of signaled for me to take them out so that they can tell me what they need to tell me, and then I put them right back in, and I did whatever they asked me to do. You know, so so this girl wanting to play manager just because she worked there before. Talking about if she catches you, then with those earbuds in, then she will send you home. Or you'll be sent home. You know, and all this just harassment and bullying, and then she's sitting there throwing up satanic hand signs and all that. And so when I asked her, I said, how old are you? She's like, I'm 29 and I'll be 30 in August. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm already 39. So I'm calling her girl because you're way younger than me and trying to boss me. Almost young enough to be my child. You were born in freaking 1993. I was born in 1983. You shouldn't be talking to me that way, like condescending and like you're the adult higher than me or older than me with the authority. And I'm sick and tired of being treated this way. And now it's to the point where narcs older than me. Yeah, I have an issue with y'all too. And people have a point. Nobody should be telling me what to do if I'm grown and nearly 40 years old. So the girl kept lying and saying, oh, I'm looking out for you and I'm just, I'm trying to watch your back and all. No, you afraid, you're so stuck on yourself that you're afraid that the manager would tell you something. It ain't about me, it's about you. You worshiping yourself that you just want to protect yourself. That's why you did what you did. So this is how everything started. And I could have still been at work today. And the manager was probably in on it too. Because remember I told y'all the other two managers, one of them was really nice. But the other one was also really nice. But I call it fake nice. Because when I walked up in the room, in the store, that's when she started throwing up, devil horns at least 3 times. And I'm like, whoa, I just got here. Like the instant I got there, throwing up devil horns. But fake nice, though. Really nice. And the other couple of managers, yeah, they didn't have a problem with me having my earbuds. But the narc who power hungry thinks she's bigger, better, and high, the one that looked like she's half Asian, she wanted to just step her power game up. And told me I couldn't have my earbuds because of a safety issue. They told me the same thing at Avis. I'm like, what safety issue when I was working at Avis, the coworkers would blast super loud, like the same kind of, the videos that I uploaded this morning from last night. Imagine having to work, having hypersensitive ears, hypersensitive ear disability, hyperacusis. Imagine having ears that sensitive and then have to deal with loud for 8 hours and then all your organs vibrating for 8 hours. Like, come on, man. That's not healthy. Y'all want to talk about a safety hazard? Loud music like that, that's a health, it ruins your health. Research it. So I mean, so that girl started with me by harassing me about my earbuds, and that's how this all started. And the other managers wouldn't have said anything, and they weren't going to say anything, because when I asked the other manager, she said it was okay for me to have my earbuds in, and then the big bad wolf narc manager, she narcissistically put her 2 cents in and try to say, no, you can't have them. It's a safety hazard and you can get hurt and this and that, whatever. I never got hurt before. But that Jermaine guy was trying to tell me, like, at first, they're trying to say, oh, you can't have your earbuds. I have to have my earbuds. Oh, well, only just put one in. No, I can't do that. I have to have both. Well, this job, like, and so it's like, so that girl that was the coworker, the bossy coworker who thinks she's the manager, she asked me if I'm autistic. I said, well, I was diagnosed with pervasive developmental disorder, NOS, but they ruled it out when I was 5 years old. And I said, well, people think I might have Asperger's, but I haven't had an official diagnosis. She's like, oh yeah, I know, because I have ADD. She said, I have ADHD. And that's what she said, that she has ADHD. So, so I mean, she didn't seem inattentive or anything like that. I thought people with ADHD, I wouldn't have thought that they attentive enough to be meddlesome in other people's business. So it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If people try to say it's discrimination if you're disabled and they won't let you work. But then I heard that, people talk about HIPAA laws and all that. And so they try to say, well, you have a right to not disclose to your manager that you're disabled, or they can't fire you if you're disabled. So I was never told at any job before that you need documentation of your ear situation in order for us to accommodate you. Never, ever have they told me that. But I have been trying for years to get treatment for my ears and also to try to get records of proof. And every time I try to get medical records of my Tourette's, or they gave me a hard time, especially in Denton, Texas. They try to charge me fees that I can't afford in order to get access to that documentation and that paperwork for the proof of the diagnosis of me having Tourette's or hypersensitive ears. But you can see my tics and my symptoms, at least with the Tourette's, if you know what to look for. Because before I left Denton, Texas, and I think even in Greenville, South Carolina, I think I was even seeing a neurologist for my Tourette's. And that's neurological. Sometimes they say it's neuropsychiatric, the Tourette's. With my eyes blinking right now because my excuse me. So when we got in the office, I got private with the manager, and I apologized for, not saying anything. And I said, well, I was afraid that you would send me home and say, well, this job ain't for you. And I was really trying to survive and stuff. Like the first day, at the end of the day, she acted like as if she was compassionate enough to ask me about my homeless situation and ask me if I needed anything. But that's narcissistic self-righteousness, though. Not that she cared, but it's just narcissistic self-righteousness. So, pretending that she doing the upstanding, right, moral thing, So since I just got paid with the Social Security check, I really didn't need anything, So I was good. I was fine, So, yesterday in the office, the manager, try to bully, harass, and lecture me, and try to say, so when did you think that you were gonna tell me about your ear situation? Like, that's how the fake foster family, in the biological family, that's how they used to talk to me. Try to. So, I mean, if she's that narcissistic that, like, when she got mad at me, the first time, the first day when she got mad at me that I didn't receive her email, and the gang stalkers probably buried the email on purpose to try to prevent me from seeing it and prevent me from trying to get that job, And I heard that they've done that to targets. So, and the lady swore up and down she did send me the email, and I said, well, I didn't get it. And then later on, I was able to find it and retrieve it, and I didn't even get the notification earlier. I didn't even know she sent it on December 30th. If I would have known and read the email, I would not have come on Monday. Yeah, I wouldn't have come on Monday and got out of the hotel 5 hours early. I could have got extra sleep and rest. Excuse me. So I mean, I wish I would have known. And there was another girl who didn't get the email too, but she ended up not working. I guess she must have switched her mind. That's the other girl. The one with that had the boyfriend with the car in the dirty car and they were smoking weed up in there. Like, you're gonna go on a job coming from smoking weed? People, and those are the ones who get to keep jobs and become managers and stay long and all that. So and I told the manager, I said, well, I was afraid that, of being discriminated against. And I was afraid, and so she treated me like as if I'm too dumb to know what customer service means. And she said, yeah, I was really upset, and I was upset because I thought I could have a dependable customer service employee. And she falsely accused me of telling her, and I didn't even tell her. She put words in my mouth, and she also, she think that her perception of me implying something. She said, you said that you couldn't work up in the front. I didn't even tell her that. It's a guy and a female. Oh, no, that's a guy. Because he keep on walking back and forth. He's just doing weird shit. Like, one moment he'll have on a mask, and then he'll come without a mask. That's him hiding up in that room. And he just walked through this way. He's trying to distract me. So I told the manager about past employment situations where, like, when I told her about City Bowls South, I told them during an interview about my ears being sensitive, and they didn't hire me. And so, I'm like, damn, I sacrificed doing all this for this job just to turn around. And I even got $25 skirt because I couldn't get to anywhere cheaper or get anything, But I can use that for other, situations, but I mean, because I couldn't get into my locker that day, and the next day I couldn't get into my locker, so I had to get emergency, just something to wear that fits in with the clothing guidelines for the job assignment, So so she tried to make it like as if I was trying to be sneaky and dishonest about my ear situation. She tried to say that should have been the first. Excuse me. That's like how what the foster mom would do. That should have been the first thing. You should have told me that first thing in the morning. That should have been the first thing you told me. But it's like the fact that she got mad at me about the email, that scared me off to the point where, let me stay out this lady's way. I ain't telling her. I'm like avoiding her like the plague because I know she's a narcissistic abuser. And she was throwing up them devil horns too. The manager, the big manager, the big bad wolf manager. Yeah, I saw her throwing up devil horn hand sign. So while you self-righteous and think you're perfect and everything, yeah, I see you're a Satan worshiper. So then she tried to forcefully order me to go to the Medicaid office right now. I mean, like on the next day off, and go and get paperwork of my medical diagnoses. And I said, well, they charge money that I can't even afford, and I don't even think that the Medicaid office would give me those diagnoses. I mean, I would have to go straight to the past doctors, and as I said, those doctors were nurse practitioners and stuff. Like when it was 2011, and after I became homeless in 2011, and the shelters gave me a hard time, I tried to get paperwork and documentation for that lupus diagnosis. And I'm glad I don't have the lupus symptoms no more. So the lupus diagnosis, I tried to go to the nurse practitioner in Denton, Texas before I left Denton, Texas. And the lady would not give me, I think she eventually did some kind of way. But they want, a letter on official letterhead, an official letter, and they want to charge, the doctors will charge you such and such amount of unaffordable money. Even when I was in Los Angeles and I went to the ear, nose, and throat doctor to be treated for my hypersensitive ears, he was prescribing me these vitamins called lipoflavonoid. But, with that diagnosis and stuff, he confirmed that I do have the diagnosis of hyperacusis. So, but again, for me to try to get documentation for all that, and, for me to suffer all these, and then I heard that another thing, that these doctors and stuff that's part of the gang stalking, that they don't want to diagnose you with certain things you really do have, because then it would show more, like if you diagnose as autistic or Asperger's, then that's more proof of their mind control experimentation and abuse that they try to cover up. So they just want to leave everybody to think you're schizophrenic and crazy. And I know I'm not crazy. Now I know I'm not crazy. So that lady was trying to say that it was wrong. I mean, the manager was trying to say it was wrong for other companies to not hire me for this and that. And then she tried to turn around and say that they'd had every right because you don't have documentation, and try to justify why it's not discrimination. But see, if that nosy, meddlesome ass girl wouldn't have done what she did, then this wouldn't have happened, and I could have still been at work right now. I probably would have cussed the manager out eventually for the idea that I had enough of her narcissistic tyrant bullying. My words aren't coming out correctly right now. I'm sorry. And some other stuff, I can't remember everything, but she tried to make it like as if I'm too disabled to work and that I'm too dumb to know what customer service means. So I'm like, I didn't know that that they were gonna have us doing a little bit of everything, and that they were gonna have me on learning on the registers and stuff. I did do a little bit of computer work and looking up certain items and trying to locate certain items and stuff like that, So, I feel like you're not God. Who are you to glorify yourself as strict and no nonsense? Sit the fuck down. You're not God. Like, that's unnecessary for you to be so self-righteous and strict, and then at one point I had my earbuds in, and there was a customer came and asked me a question. I was so nervous. I was very nervous. And so I just nervously pointed to the manager, And so then she tried to narcissistically lecture me about professionalism when, bitch, you the one got the worst temper in the damn room, in a damn store. And you the, I mean, you should, I didn't tell her that, but I'm thinking in my head. So it's like, I can't deal at the location or the place where I was working. They don't need somebody like that. And she wants everything to be better than perfect. While, as I said, the other two managers didn't. They were gonna allow me to have my earbuds, and they were okay with it. Like, kick these narcissistic fake tyrants out of positions of authority where they don't belong. That they probably sold their soul to the devil or cheated their way to get those high positions. So So the lady made me feel inferior. She made me feel like a worthless piece of shit. She made me just feel like devalued. Like, and it's like the first day, everybody told me I did. All the managers said we did really good, including me. They said I did really good. So now you trying to make it like as if I'm not mentally capable. Or I'm not capable of this or that. So and I pushed through that whole day, and then the next morning I woke up just thinking heavy about what the manager told me, and then she got like she tried to make it like I'm not suitable for the job, and then she got mad when I quit, and said, well, I was hoping that I could have, that you could have gained some more sales. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I was hoping you could have gained more experience on this and that, whatever. So she, as I said, she blew off the handles and like went off on me, and me being emotionally sensitive, it's traumatizing to be treated that way. Like, she tried to get mad and say that now that she can't have anybody like me to rely on or depend for customer service. I've done customer service before. I was working at the pools. What Roger Scott, and working at the YMCA and working at Hunter Pool, and I was doing customer service. And when I was working at the zoo, I did customer service, and I think I remember they allowed me to have my earbuds. And then but the ghetto noise campaigns got so bad that when I was working at the zoo, when they had people who weren't zoo patrons, and they would do a noise campaign at the park, like right across the street from the zoo, and the noise campaign would be so bad that I would have to leave work. I couldn't stay because too loud. So that's what everybody. So I told that manager, I said, there is no way, if I'm supposed to just only work between this week and next week, there is no way in hell can I go within that short period of time to go get documentation. I'm not even seeing any doctor at all. And I've not had any primary care physician here in Pensacola ever. I've tried voc rehab. They were oppressive and unhelpful. So every time I try to go get paperwork for the diagnosis of certain disabilities, they give me the runaround, or they want to charge me money that I can't afford. So I'm running around with so-called no proof. And even, it's like mainly homeless shelters demand documentation for my hypersensitive ears and stuff. She's the first the first job manager that has ever done something like that, ever. And she just, try to use words to tear me down and make me feel ashamed, like as if my disability is my fault. And, they'll try to make it like, well, you're not really disabled because you don't have, and then she's trying to say that, no, I don't have to accommodate you and stuff like that. But as I said, I was not really trying to just dodge telling her or keep some secret away from her. I probably would have said something like that if she wouldn't have scared me off with being mad at me about the email. As I said, I try to stay like away from her. Being like acting like that. Frightened me. Really scared me. Getting so explosive. So like, and she's worse than the abusive fake foster mom. There's always going to be somebody that's harder, meaner, and more abusive. And so the other lady, the one who threw up the devil horns, hand signs, she was gonna let me use my doggone earbuds. She was gonna let me wear them. So, people say, well, don't let employers know you're homeless, or you shouldn't let them know you were disabled. Like when when I was working that temp service job with Kelly Services right after Hurricane Katrina in 2006, when they had an abusive, mean manager, Alice Baker, that when we were working at Children's Hospital in New Orleans, and she fired me when a coworker asked me why do I blink my eyes so much, and I told her I have Tourette's. And so they lied on me and said that I told them I have seizures, and I didn't say that. And then they try to make it like I don't have the mentality to work at a children's hospital. And I was depressed for months. So yeah, due to being targeted, they're going to make sure you don't get your proper diagnosis of the real disabilities that you really do have, especially the physical ones that expose their electronic or whatever other demonic torture and abuse. They have a lot of targeted individuals being maimed and, being ruined and destroyed. They destroy your health, destroy everything. If you try to go to the dentist about something with your teeth and you're targeted, they'll try to turn it into something mental. Everything they got to blame everything on something, anxiety, schizophrenia, or whatever else. So, hell, they'll try to say that you having a twisted ankle. They'll say, oh, you're having a panic attack. Or it's all in your head. You're just imagining things. Oh, just take a deep breath. Take some deep breaths. In, out. In through your nose, out through your mouth. I'm like, come on, my freaking ankle hurt. What that got to do with a panic attack? They play all kinds of freaking games. It's ridiculous. So that abusive, narcissistic tyrant manager act like she delusionally believed that she's bigger, better, and higher than perfect, and self-righteous, and think that she can step her game up and outdo the ordinary. I hate people like her. And so it's like, she tried to make it like as if I'm not suitable or capable of doing that job. And when I was doing the work really well, just they need to turn the damn noise off, and the perps need to stop clicking pins in my ear. And then another perp thing that happened is that fake Kentucky Patriot. She, like 10 or 20 minutes before I was supposed to clock in to start that official paid first day of work, she came on my YouTube to harass me. And I'm gonna do a blog post on her too. And I think that the perps waited till then, and she joined in on the gang stalking, and then try to pretend like she's righteous and Christian. Like, how the hell you bullying and harassing and gang stalking me and following me everywhere, and then turn around and tell me to get right with Jesus and repent? That's another gaslighting. And then talking about you being rude and ranting and cursing. Like them talking about me being rude and ranting and cursing. Like you don't even know the history behind any of all this. And how you gonna tell me about MK Ultra when you're doing the exact same perp tactics? Bullying, lecturing, harassing, and perping me. Like, and that startled me to have me pissed, go into work pissed off and mad. I got that notification as soon as I had to log into my phone and clock in. And then I got the notification of her harassing YouTube comments. You know, the moment you log into your phone, it may take a couple of minutes and then you get the notification of your emails and all, and I noticed that. So I was shaking and then dealing with, and I'm surprised I'm really surprised at myself that I didn't fly off the handles and have a meltdown or like crying and say, I can't take it no more, or something like that. But that doesn't mean I can be that strong each and every time I go through something. So there was some other stuff that I just can't even articulate or express right now. If I think of it, I can probably tell y'all in another video, but this is more like the gist of everything that happened. But she tried to make like I'm not mentally capable or too disabled or too retarded to have a job at all. You know, but then she's like, well, they have other jobs where you're allowed to have your earbuds and you should go look for those. Well, I had the janitorial jobs and the dishwashing jobs where I was allowed to use my earbuds to block out the outside noise or whatever. And then they want to talk about, oh, well, people need to, you gotta need, no, they say you're gonna need to hear. You're gonna need to hear us telling you instructions, this, that, whatever. So, but as I said, the other two ladies were nice, even though one of them was throwing up devil horns and all that, you know. But they had the lady that, I don't know if she was Hispanic or Native American, and she was really nice also. But the white lady was the one that was nice, but she was throwing up the devil horns. Those, you know, three managers and stuff. But the one that looked like she was fully Asian, but she had a few little white features and stuff. But yeah, that lady right there, she's the freaking devil. Like, they need to get rid of her, throw her ass out. You know, and she probably was part of the perp game too. The fact that she set me up with somebody that's gonna be meddlesome, and you know, she could have set me up with another worker. I guarantee you they wouldn't have said anything. And then yesterday morning when I had to ride one bus, I forgot what happened, what events or details happened on the first bus. I don't remember at all what happened on the first bus. But on the second bus, they had a man in a wheelchair that got on. And I felt inconvenienced because I know the bus drivers would not give me enough time to throw that bag away and then get another bag out of my backpack and sit it back down. So I felt the need to, I just held on to the rails and stood up the rest of the time when the wheelchair guy came on. And I started to wonder if that old man in the wheelchair, is he a freaking perp? He had on a black and red flannel pants or whatever, you know. And then they had a lighter brown-skinned black man with glasses, and he looked like he was older than me, and he looked like the Freemason who raped me in Los Angeles. He looked a lot like him, the Derwin O's guy who raped me. That's who he looked like. So when I was standing up, what the bastard did, the guy who looked like the guy who raped me, he didn't say excuse me for me to move out of his way, didn't warn me in advance. What he did was pretend to fake a medical emergency. And I started to wonder if he was having a seizure. What the hell was going on? That he deliberately and on purpose walked all up on me without warning. Without advance warning. And it seemed like as if he pretended to collapse, like stand behind me and collapse on me and quickly rub his you-know-what against me and then hurry up and got off the bus. And I was confusing, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And it happened so fast that I was too shocked to even tell the bus driver. And I felt like I need to get my clothes. I'm sitting here feeling like I don't want to deal with the police. I know the bus drivers the bus drivers never take me seriously. I'm freaked out, I just pray to God about it because I really hate to be gaslit or abused by the police every time a rape or sexual assault situation happens. I mean, y'all saw how the police treated me last night. It could have been worse, but y'all saw how they try to discipline and handle me and treat me a certain way last night. The videos I uploaded this morning. So when I told the lady, the lady at the pool, she asked me, she said, "You look very tired." I said, "I got absolutely no sleep last night." And I said that, I just got sexually assaulted on the bus. And she told me, "Well, you got to report these things." I'm like, "Well, you don't get it being a target." I mean, I can't tell her about my targeting, but I said, "Well, I had bad experience. Police really don't do nothing, or they will flip and reverse everything on me, Well, I didn't want to sit back down and get my pants dirty, but he fucking dirtied up the whole back. He dirtied up the whole back, all the back of my clothes, that guy. And he had a small, peeping little baby, small little, that thing down there. He had a small one. It felt weird and uncomfortable. It's like he, rubbed his you-know-what against my ass, my butt. And try to cover it up as if he was mocking a medical emergency or mocking a seizure. And then hurry up and get off the bus. Because I didn't have a seizure or nothing. But, I remember I told y'all I was blacking out on Saturday and had to go to the emergency room. And so then I already showed y'all about what happened and told y'all about what happened at the laundromat. So when I went to go do laundry and then came back and put my stuff up, and then later on, I went to go and swim and shower, and they had this perp. I don't know if he really was autistic himself or pretending to be as a way to mock the work situation. So he had his head down in a jacuzzi and was making weird noises and then drooling, like saliva coming out of his mouth, like he was drooling. And I kept asking him, "Is he okay?" Then he wasn't responding to me. So then I started to panic. He didn't fall over or nothing, but he acted like as if, he wasn't hearing me. So he was ignoring me on purpose. And then I called the lifeguard over. The lifeguard asked him if he was okay. He said, "Oh, yeah, I'm okay." And then the lifeguard smiled. I'm like, he said he's okay. He's okay. I'm like, okay. Just wanted to make sure because, So then after the lifeguard left, and then after some time, he said, "You don't need," the guy, the young guy said, "You don't need to stare at me while I'm showering." While he was still sitting in the jacuzzi, and he said that. And then I'm like, huh? And so then later on, he got up and went to rinse off by the little shower part over there later on. I ain't worried about you freaking. I mean, you know how certain pools have where you can just shower off, with your swim clothes on, of course, but shower that extra chlorine off, or shower off before or after, And so then afterwards, he went and just did and said some other weird stuff I don't remember, and that kind of pissed me off and upset me too. And so when I got on the bus, the passenger that tried to falsely accuse she's friends with the bus driver, and they got names of both of those ladies got names of two of my family members. I'm like, is that a coincidence, or they both perps were fake names? So see, they getting loud up in the by the front desk over there. Can you hear them? It's a lot of them up there. A lot of the staff over there all at once. Right when I talk about the bus driver situation, I don't need to explain the situation with the noise campaign last night, because I already showed y'all that. So, the bus driver asked me how my job went. See, y'all hear that? Y'all hear them being louder over there? Shut up. That's the staff talking loud. But they'll be quick to come and tell me shut up. So now I can't even concentrate. But the bus driver asked me about the job, and that lady, I haven't seen that lady in like I haven't seen her since like before Thanksgiving is the last time I remember seeing that lady. And it was very cold. And it was before they kicked me away from 25 West Government Street. And it was supposed to be 35 degrees. And that passenger was like, they got shelters. Like she was like, they got shelters. Like as if she was trying to be manipulative and convincing. All over the country, they had homeless shelters where it would be so cold, and then even the cold weather shelters, they would have, shelters are full, no space available. So some homeless people had to go and suffer. And then me being targeted and wrongfully banned from this and that shelter, or if I get to the shelter, then they mob me out of there, or just me having my earbuds due to my hypersensitive ear condition, or it's automatically disrespectful and breaking the rules. And I already explained I can't I'm being blocked from getting any documentation, medical documentation to prove about my treatment and my hypersensitive ear situation. So they just want me to be more freaking tortured and abused. And other targeted individuals, they're not diagnosed with hyperacusis, but a few others said that they have sensitive ears due to the torture and stuff like that too. So the bus driver, that lady and the bus driver felt like they ganged up on me and said some upsetting things to me. And the bus driver tried to say, well, that ear condition, that's mental too. Because I said, no, it's not. It's physical. She said, well, it can turn mental. So, I mean, if we all would have conversations on the bus, when she's on there, that driver, we would have conversations on the bus about, certain things about our personal lives, or what restaurants we like to eat at, or say, if they want to say that they saw such and such a movie somewhere over the weekend or something, But the bus driver, I didn't realize she acted like a narcissistic, control freak, fake friend. And, it seemed like that's the second time dealing with a passenger acting like the chief narc, and then a bus driver acting like a flying monkey. So when that passenger disrespected me and turned against me and treated me like as if she was sick of me. Like that was the first time that was the first time she treated me mean. But before then, you know, before then she used to pretend to be extra fake happy and extra fake excited. But see now the way they treat me, and with them trying to be controlling fake friends and stuff, I don't trust to give them. I don't trust to give them my phone number. I don't want them with my phone number. Bad enough, the bus driver tried to ask me for my TikTok information, but yet she claims she doesn't know anything about blogging. Now she never heard of blogging or YouTube before, but you know about TikTok. But that same bus driver, like almost all the conversations that we would have, and she would tell me, stay in your Bible and trust God and pray and all that, just to turn around and tell me you need a social worker. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. She said, yeah, you do. Like as if I deserve to be punished. And then, she tried to make it like as if I'm irresponsible, that I need a social worker because I'm irresponsible and not taking care of myself like I'm supposed to, and that's not even the case. That's not. And then, just like the online purpose would be like, well, oh, Candy gets a Social Security check, but she's not seeking treatment. So therefore, she's not really disabled. And therefore, she's committing fraud and scam and this and that, whatever. And that's not even the case. When the foster mom, and so I feel the need to expose this, that the foster care system, if they're that abusive that they abuse a child to the point where they're forced to be disabled so that they can traffic you and collect money and use you as a cash cow and then block you from being independent or working or making your own living, and so that you can be forced to be a lifelong slave to them. And even the biological brother, Sean, he ends up, he's 6 years older than me. And being in that system, and even back with the biological family, they force infantilize him. When he also expressed that he wanted to be independent and, everything like that. Independent, and they block him. If they medicated him to the point where he's destroyed and ruined from those medications, and they want to keep giving you more. So it's degrading and insulting that I have a bachelor's degree, and you think, and all these narcissistic control freak abusers falsely think that I'm incapable of taking care of myself. Star Bricker even falsely making you just been stalking me. You don't even know me, and you've been stalking me online, and y'all just make all these false assumptions about me. I've been living independent for so many years, but due to the directed energy weapons and targeting, it's not making just me homeless, but has made other TIs homeless as well. That they strip you from everything normal. And so, that's a perp thing to say, that trying to say, you need a social worker. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. Or trying to turn my hypersensitive ear situation, she want to try to say it's mental. No, it's not. Oh, well, it can turn mental. Like, you trying to say that I need a handler, that I need to be controlled. That's insulting to somebody nearly 40 years old with a bachelor's degree. Oh, you're not doing well. I don't have to take antibiotics. I'm going to heal. I have what it takes to heal. I just didn't have the money last month. But I was able to get my green superfood supplement, and I got some of the clay. So That was just a one-time incident, that medical emergency. I'm fine now. So, I mean, I was just scared and didn't know what was going on. But due to my homeless situation and lack of money, I can't eat as healthy as I wish. Like, I mean, I wish to be able to have a smoothie. I don't get that convenience, but I'm not going to eat McDonald's anymore either. So, narcissistic abusers, they coercively infantilize you and try to make it like you don't know shit, you don't know anything, you're good for nothing, you're useless, you know, and so it seemed like as if the bus driver used what I said as a weapon against me. It's like she acting like, oh well, if you getting those benefits and you're not getting treatment, then that means you're not disabled and they're gonna cut your benefits off. But then turn around and say you need a social worker, or you trying to insinuate that I am that you think I am crazy. After she didn't think I was crazy when I told her about being targeted and dealing with the cult and everything. So now it's like like other fake friends. The bus driver wasn't really a friend, but she would have conversations with me and stuff. But her and that other lady, and the other lady said that she saw me at Golden Corral, but I don't remember her. She said that I was talking to her, that those girls were her granddaughters that I was talking to. I'm like, well, why? If you saw me at Golden Corral, why you ain't walk up to me and have a conversation? Or ask me, oh, hey, how you doing? Whatever, I don't remember seeing her. I don't think I saw her, the passenger, at Golden Corral. So, yeah, I cannot even go to the police about rape, assault, whatever. Just like they let the fake Jehovah's Witness perp Mary, they let her right back out of jail. When she was supposed to, they told me over the phone that they were going to have her there, that she had already had a charge or an offense on something else. So they let her out and left her to terrorize and perp me and abuse me even more. But I'm glad I haven't been seeing her lately. I don't know if she went back to jail for something else again. I don't know. But last night, I knew that those perps planted themselves there in advance. And that's what they do. They show up before you, where they know you go, before you do. And the police lied and said that I'm the one who started. If y'all are in on the perp and y'all know damn well that loud knowing that's part of the gang stalking tactics. So they reversed it on me and lied and said I'm the one that started first. If I would have told the police about the man and sexually assaulting me on the bus, they would have been like, well, if you would have been sitting down like somebody that's normal with common sense, then that wouldn't have happened to you. Victim blaming. I just feel so, and then I would have had to squeeze back. The front was crowded once that man got on the wheelchair, got on the bus. So, that man, the other man, he did what he did because out of opportunity, because he wanted to. The one who sexually assaulted me, that was sitting towards the back. And that's what they do. It's like, and I remember they had this homeless perp with his eyes were like a bluish, greenish gray, and his skin color, his complexion was orange. And I haven't seen him in a long time, but he used to also follow me everywhere. And he acted like he wasn't interested in me, but I think that he sat behind me on a bus one day and then started jacking off. But I wasn't quite sure. And then he moved away and then came back and did the same thing. And he was even following me at the library. So he was like, so but then they try to remain unnoticed. And I had a picture of him shape shifting, but I don't even. I think I do have pictures of him shape shifting. It was weird. So I mean, please don't judge me about. I said that was the last job I attempted. I'm not trying to seek employment no more. I'm just gonna since I'm too disabled and retarded to work, too mental and crazy to work. Well, fine. I will just um seek harder to try to make a living from my writings. In which anybody with a narcissistic personality, those are the only ones who want to try to correct and control what I do and feel like my writing's not good enough and anything about me and everything about me is not good enough or not worthy enough. And then they want to make you go back and do it all over again. And while they fold their arms and stick their foot out and narcissistically monitor you the entire and surveil you the entire time until you reach their satisfaction, So it's degrading. And I'm 39, going to be 40 later on this year and still being treated this way, like as if I'm 4. And y'all won't allow me to grow up, but then shun me for not being what y'all consider mature according to y'all standards. While y'all abusive, narcissistic, tyrant bullies. And it's frustrating that, that fake patriot falsely accused me of being rude and ranting and stuff like that when you're not targeted. So you're not, for you to be judgmental from the outside and you're supposed to be Christian but then you're telling me not to curse, but at the same time you bullying, stalking and following and harassing me. I didn't ask you to come follow me on TikTok. And I have freaking Tourette's and everything like that. And y'all sitting there talking about, oh, you're rude and cursing. Days of sleep deprivation that makes my Tourette's worse. But y'all think I'm just this crazy mad woman, though. Y'all keep me sleep. The gang stalking network keep me sleep deprived for days. And then I end up being able to have less self-control and I talked about the effects of my sleep deprivation. Your brain really doesn't work right. I'm not a rude person. I'm not mean. You wouldn't catch me cussing people out on a normal day, but on these days when I'm freaking sleep deprived, I'm suffering. I've been perped, harassed, and had a whole bad week. Much emotional, psychological, and mental pressure has been added up on me, and I'm surprised I have not snapped or went off already. But yesterday morning, if I would have caught him sooner and realized what he did instead of not catching on until after, he was subtle and covert with it. I wish I would have beat the dog shit out of that man that sexually assaulted me, since the police won't do shit. Or the bus drivers wouldn't do shit. Or they would blame me and give me a whole psychological and mental torture session with victim blaming and gaslighting and everything else that I'm not psychologically, mentally and emotionally ready for. And those perps last night added more distress by calling the police unnecessarily when they orchestrated the perping and stuff before I got there, because they've been perping and harassing me, and then lied on me and said that I was harassing them for the past couple of months when they've been perping me all year. I don't remember seeing them last year, maybe, but I think it was a couple of months, like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, that they were perping and blasting loud music and they wanted to fight me because I put their asses on film. But those girls, I guess the guy's baby mama, they came later on. I didn't even know that there was a baby in the car. But y'all heard the police said that I do have a right to film a minor, but I try to not film people's kids. And I thought it was against the law to film people's kids, but I didn't know that there was a child in the car. I'm like, what you doing, perping, blasting, ear splitting loud? That's not even healthy for the baby. Like Why you should be at home with your child, and then you tell them, "Oh, don't tell me how to parent my." No, because y'all know what y'all doing. So, I don't know if I've exhausted in this one video if it exhausted so much space on my phone. So, thanks for letting me vent and get emotionally released, since I can't say get it off my chest, you know. But I'm still mad though, and I got a lot more to say and a lot more to write. I'm gonna go for the moment.